So let's move on to the sixth lesson in Unit 1, which asks, why did American colonists want to free themselves from Great Britain? The colonies did seem to coexist with the mother country quite well for more than a century and a half. What changed?
Well, as we've talked about before, the Crown failed to come up with an imperial policy to govern the colonies so that British law was enforced uniformly throughout the colonies. The colonists took great advantage of that period of salutary neglect to develop their own customs, their own traditions, their own forms of local governance, to demand that they have the right to consent to taxation, making the legislative function really come up in power throughout the colonies that had legislatures. Money can be the root of all evils, and it certainly was the root of evil between the colonies and the Crown. The colonies looked to the Crown to protect them from invasions by Native American tribes, by invasions by French and other colonial or European powers seeking to plant colonies that would be ultimately a threat, particularly west of the Appalachians. And the British came to the aid of the colonies. They fought the French and Indian Wars in the 1750s and 1760s to protect the Crown's interests, but also to protect the colonies. Bottom line is the Crown finally says to its colonies, it's time for you to pay the piper. The coffers of England were depleted by the French and Indian Wars, and so the Crown was looking to the colonies as a source of way to recoup the revenues. One way it did that was to call back all of the charters, proprietary and corporation, and replace them with royal charters, which effectively said, the Crown is now in charge of your colony. After 150 years, this did not go down well. The colonists came together, created the Stamp Act Congress in 1765, and urged resistance to all British tax laws. And the British realized they have a serious problem, because once you've given away power, it's really hard to take it back.